君は私の夢そのものであり、具現化した弱点でもある。
Suburban villa. With a beeping sound of the camera, the steel frame starts to move. The camera captures a few interior decorations before settling on Artem's face.
もう撮り始めてるのか？少し待ってくれ。
In the shot, Artem quickly adjusts his expression and smiles at you. You rotate the lens a couple times, zooming Artem out and bringing an old man next to him into the shot as well. 3, 2, 1, cheers!
ありがとうね。写真は後で現像しておくよ。
You hand the camera back to the old man and sit down next to Artem.
いやー、もうあれから何年も経っているのに、左京くんはちっとも変わってないね。その声も姿もあの頃のままだ。
While he is talking into the camera, you look up and scan the room. A massive array of photographs covers every wall you can see. Many of them are photos of the old man with other people, some of whom you even recognize. There are a lot of familiar attorneys and even some judges.
ああ、白浜先生は業界に入ってから長いから、名高い放送人たちともご面識があるのだろう。私が初級弁護士になったばかりの頃も、先生の交渉のおかげで裁判を一人で担当させてもらえたんだ。
According to Stellar's law, lawyers can only appear in court independently after they obtain a graduate attorney license and internship certificate. Generally speaking, most people will intern at a law firm after graduation before they get the certificate and then focus on the attorney exam. However, Artem was the complete opposite. He passed his graduate attorney exam before he even graduated. That means Artem already knew this person when he was an intern.
白浜先生の定年がもう少し先だったら、君も法廷で先生とお会いできていたかもしれないな。
The Mr. White that Artem is talking about is Alice White, who was once a well-known judge. After he retired, you heard he started focusing on his photography hobby, especially portraits. I can't believe he took so many pictures. It's like a stamp collection.
はるばる足を運んでくれた上に、こんな素敵なお土産まで持ってきてくれるとは。そうだ。よかったら二人の写真も撮ってあげようか。
With these words, Alice White straightens up the messy table, preventing you and Artem from being blocked by the open gift box. The exquisite box pales in comparison to the gift, which is a ridiculously long zoom lens. You and Artem bought the lens a few weeks ago as a gift for Alice White tonight. I still shudder at the thought of its price. Buying gifts, paying a visit, hanging out late at night is the first time you and Artem took the initiative to make such a social engagement. Since it's your first time doing something like this, you can't help but feel nervous. Artem, however, is the complete opposite.
では、ご好意に甘えさせていただきます。もっとこっちに。そんなに離れていたら映らないだろ？
Artem touches your shoulder tenderly, pulling you in until your knees touches his. Alice White adjusts the camera, his face hidden behind it.
ところで、持ってきてくれたレンズ、嬉しかったよ。平日なのに、わざわざこんな場所まで来てくれて、本当にありがとうね。
いえ、これくらいなんてことありません。以前から大変お世話になっていたので、これもほんの感謝の気持ちです。
感謝ね
え。Alice White repeats Artem's word leisurely and sighs inexplicably.
でも気持ちだけで十分だよ。このお土産は受け取るわけにはいかない。一線を退いたとはいえ、一人の元放送人としてやってはいけないことがあるんだ。
In the silent room, Arthur smiles helplessly at the camera.
なるほど。先生のおっしゃっていることはよくわかりました。
Alice White is about to close the gift box when Artem suddenly speaks out, heading the conversation in a more dangerous direction.
ご安心ください。購入履歴は残らないよう処理しておきましたし、私たちが今日ここに訪れたことも誰にも知られていないでしょう。何せ、
He pauses for a moment, looking at the wall of photographs.
先生と写真を撮られた方々と同様、私も先生が決めたルールを心得ておりますから。
左京君。
Artem leans forward, revealing a sense of urgency in his words.
私たちとしても、できれば先生の手を煩わせたくはありませんでした。ですが今の状況では、もはや先生しか頼れる方がいないのです。
The ticking sound of the clock is relentless, and your calls are starting to eat from sitting on the cushion. The gift box on the coffee table has been removed, and in its place are two documents with Artem and your name on the cover. Above your name is the word resignation, and on the cover of Artem's document is partner withdrawal request.
左京君、これはどういうつもりなんだい？二人はテミスを離れたいのか？仮にそうだとしても、私はテミスの人間ではないし、これを見せたところで意味はないと思うが。
先生、今日お邪魔したのは、この件について相談があったからです。先生もご存知の通り、私と彼女は現在交際中で、正直にお話ししますが、私たちはすでに同棲も始めていて、いつ人生の次の段階に入ってもおかしくない状態です。
Alice White raises his eyebrows. Your heart beats faster.
このまま彼女とテミスで働き続け、上司と部下の関係で居続けていれば、今日まで問題がなかったとしても、この先はいつ何が起きるか分かりません。彼女に不安な思いをさせ、いつまでも二人の関係を気づかせるくらいなら、私はいっそ彼女を連れてテミスを去るべきだと思っています。
Under the table, away from Alice White's line of sight, your knees become tightly pressed against Artem's because of the packed space. The warmth of his body gives you a sense of security, allowing you to be here and act in concert with everything he says and does.
左京君、君はまさか。
彼女を連れて、なるべく早く独立しようと考えています。先生もご存知の通り、私がテミスからの脱退を望む場合、脱退届などの書類を関連部門に提出しないといけません。ですが、私一人では、それらの煩雑な手続きを短期間で終わらせるのは難しく、よって先生のご助力を賜りたくお願いしに参った次第です。
なるべく早く脱退したい？
The old man is still in shock, his eyes full of disbelief.
左京君、君は何を言っているのか本当に分かっているのか？それは明らかな規定違反だぞ。私が言って説明したとしても、少しのミスで。
こちらも八方塞がりなんです。でなければ先生の家に押しかけたりなんてしません。
Artem clenches his fist, betting everything on a long shot.
テミスは私の考えを理解するつもりも、私を自由にする気もないでしょう。つまり、脱退に必要な書類を発行してくれる可能性は低い。ですが先生は、あなたは彼らとは違い、私のことをよく知ってくださっている。 昔、私が担当している案件を審理してくださった時、先生はこのようにおっしゃっていました。彼が今のような姿勢で励み続け、初心を忘れずにいれば、いずれ前人未到の高みに到達するでしょうと。私の独立を妨げる障害を取り除くことができるのは、業界において人望のある先生以外にいません。
さっきも言ったが、できないことはできない。だから。
白浜先生、あなたは見込んだ人間が潰されていく様を黙って見ていられるのですか？
Artem. For the first time tonight, he looked so helpless in front of someone. Your heart trembles, despite knowing his real intentions.
このことはそばにいる彼女のためであり、自分のためでもあります。それに一度決めた以上、私はどんな対価を支払ってでも必ずやり遂げます。昔からそうしてきたし、今でもその考えは変わっていません。
Alice White looks at Artem for a moment, then at the expensive gift box before softening his tone.
左京君、独立したいという話が君の本心だとしても、私に協力を求めるというのなら。
今日持ってきたこちらの書類は、もちろん先生にしか見せていません。ご不安であれば、担保としてお納めください。
With that said, he pushes the two documents toward Alice White again. Instead of looking at them, Alice White looks up at you.
あなたはどう考えているんだい？この件の当事者は左京君だけではない。パートナーとの新生活を始めるために、あなたもリスクを背負う覚悟があるのかね？
You nod your head and speak earnestly. Since I've decided to be with him, I will face whatever may happen in the future with him. Alice White stares at you like a camera lens, capturing every subtle change in your expression. The pictures of the people behind him seems to focus their eyes on you, giving you a sense of pressure.
足りないな。
先生、それはどういう意味ですか？
左京君たちの担保が不足しているという意味だ。放送人として数多くの案件を担当してきたのなら、人間がどれほど気変わりしやすい生き物なのかは君たちもよく分かっているだろう。それに何より口だけの制約ほど頼りにならないものはない。もし私に協力してほしいのであれば、まずはこちらのお願いから聞いてもらおうか。それが無事済み次第、私も協力すると誓おう。
Alice White carefully looks at you and Artem.
何？厄介な依頼ではないさ。最近ちょっとしたトラブルに巻き込まれていてね。誰か一人に手伝ってほしいのさ。誰に頼んでいいのやら。ぜひと言ってくれる人がいればいいんだが。
You feel his eyes stop wandering and rest on you. And just before he speaks again,
ぜひ私に担当させてください。先生にお願いしたのは私ですし、経験的にも何かと私の方が都合がいいと思います。
Alice White smiles again as if he's got the answer he wanted.
さすがは左京君。君は責任感が強いから、誰かの後ろに隠れるような真似はしないか。それじゃあ。
You secretly sighed a breath of relief in this stressful moment. Our plan is officially on track. Salt Lake City Police Department. Cooperate with an investigation. A month ago, you received a message from Darius Morgan asking you to come down to the station. Upon arrival, you are surprised to find Artem also present.
端的に言うと、とあるターゲットをおびき出すために協力してほしいんだ。
Lure a snake out of hiding? Who's that snake?
白浜忠という名前の定年退職した元裁判官だ。これまでの調査の結果、彼が退職後自らの影響力を悪用して違法行為に及んでいるという可能性が浮上したんだが、法の抜け道を見つけるのがうまいのか、我々は未だ有力な証拠をつかめず、彼を逮捕できずにいたんだ。そこで、この件を一刻も早く片付けるため、俺はとある提案を上に提出した。大まかな内容は、まず相手に近づける捜査協力者を探し、次に演技を用いて白浜さんの尻尾をつかむというもので、そしてその協力者として最も適任だと思われた人物が、
Before Darius finishes the sentence, the whole room is already looking at Artem. Artem is deep in thoughts. He only gives a simple explanation after you prod him gently.
初級弁護士だった頃、私は彼に、白浜さんにお世話になったことがあるんだ。それで、
Halfway through his thoughts, Artem suddenly stops. The interactions between Artem and Alice White shouldn't be adequate for the police to pick Artem as an informant. But he doesn't seem to want to elaborate on it, thus you change your subject. But why me? I'm not familiar with the former charge.
正直、過去の関係を利用して近づけたとしても、短時間で彼の信頼を得るのは難しいと思う。だから、あえてこちらの弱みを見せ、私が操れる存在、ひいては利用できる人間だと思わせた方が都合がいいんだ。そして、私が思いついた自分の弱みというのが、君だったんだ。
Despite talking about a plan related to you, Artem seems to avoid your gaze intentionally.
君を連れて一刻も早く独立するため、彼の力を借りる。彼にはそう話すつもりだ。彼は私の近況を知っているだろうから、この理由なら何とかごまかせるかもしれない。この計画について、君はどう思う？
Artem, why are you asking me? How can I judge it properly if I don't know the steps in your plan? You're going to ask for more details, but Artem shakes his head.
岩崎さん、やはり計画を変更しましょう。大勢を巻き込むやり方はリスクが大きすぎる。それに、白浜さんのことは、私一人でも対処できます。
左京がそういうのなら。
Mr. White, pieces of ambiguous information pique your curiosity. Wait. By the end of the meeting, it was decided that you would join the investigation and become an informant alongside Artem. But on that day, you had no idea what past would be uncovered from this operation. Artem's residence. After visiting Alice White, Artem becomes busier than usual. You even have to go out over the weekend.
ああ、仕事でな。
He speaks very briefly, but you know very well the reason he goes out so often. Salt Lake City Police Department.
白浜さんと接触する前準備として、まずは警察側が動く予定だ。具体的には、こちらの特別捜査員が 記者を装い白浜さんのよからぬ噂を流す。おそらくだが、そうなれば彼は今までのように、法律に精通し、かつ信用のある人物を見繕い、尻尾をつかまれないよう何かしらの後始末をさせるはずだ。よって二人には、他の誰かに先を越される前に、その信用のある人物として彼の手駒になってもらう。
That night, Artem took over such a legal case for Alice White. As for you, you have been living with him recently, acting as his fiancée to prevent Alice White from being suspicious. What time will you be back today?
早くても夕食後になるだろうから、私を待たずに君は休んでいてくれ。
Ever since Artem accepted the legal case from Alice White, he always leaves early for work and comes home late. Every time he brings back some strange things. At first, there are only luxury gift boxes, but later there are documents from unknown banks, even business cards from employees of multinational auctions. They show up at home, then disappear a few days later. As this happens more and more, your initial doubts have gradually turned into a certain uneasiness. What kind of illegal activities is Alice White doing? His scope of business is too far-reaching. Can Artem really handle it all alone? You think to yourself, while handing Artem his coat.
その、
Seeing you still immersed in your thoughts, Artem smiles and sighs before leaning over. You look up reflexively as Artem's kiss warms your forehead.
驚かせてしまったか。ほうけているようだったから、私の方から先に例の約束を果たさせてもらった。
I wasn't distracted. I was just... After moving into Artem's home, there was a casual mention of wanting to emulate how couples interact in old movies. So Artem came to an agreement with you. Whoever leaves the house first will give the other a goodbye kiss. I'm just thinking about the investigation. Saying that you're still scrambling to explain, Artem takes the opportunity to steal a kiss on your lips.
心配するな。君が思うようなことは起きていない。これが今したキスの意味だ。どうしても不安なら私は。
Artem seems to have something more to say, but in the end, he just picks up his briefcase from the entrance.
なるべく早く帰れるよう努力してみる。
However, not only does Artem not come home early, but he sets a new record for how late he may return. You try calling him a few times, but he only says that he's at a dinner party before being called away. Despite your anxiety, your eyelids gradually grow heavier and heavier. Artem's residence. You wake up abruptly from your dream and almost roll off your bed. But I was sitting on the couch just now. You look down to see a blanket over you and come to a realization. After hesitating for a moment, you leave the bedroom cautiously. Artem's residence. The journey from the bedroom to the living room is silent, as if the entire house is empty. And when you see Artem's leather shoes clearly on the porch, you can't help but frown. Maybe he's upstairs again? Probably due to the recent warm weather, Artem enjoys staying on the terrace for some cool night breeze. After searching hastily for a light jacket, you head upstairs. Roof garden. As soon as you push open the door, you hear the sound of police sirens in the distance, which makes you shudder. With each step toward the terrace, the sirens grow harsher and longer. Artem has his back towards you, leaning over the railing and looking at the photograph in his hand. Artem, hearing your footsteps, he quickly tucks the photo into his pants pockets and looks back.
あ、起きたのか？
I was just about to ask you, when did you get home? With that, you hug Artem from behind with a slow sigh of relief.
待つんだ。まだ匂いがジャケットに。
You ignore his protest and sniff his jacket. It does smell. I'm surprised Alice White would invite people to eat hot pot.
また当てられてしまったな。今日出かけていたのは君の言う通り彼に呼び出されたからだ。
Did you guys just meet up to eat? Did he? You think back to the objects and documents that had mysteriously turned up at home and then disappeared. The uneasiness rises again. You let go of Artem and study his expression carefully. Artem, if you feel uncomfortable with the investigation, you have to tell me or Captain Morgan. We can. Hearing your words, Artem shakes his head.
捜査に協力すると言った以上、私はすでに相応の覚悟をしている。
Then, those things that you brought back.
ああ、君が想像している通り、あれらは白浜さんから後処理を頼まれた彼にとって見つかると困る品々だ。すべては警察の思惑通りに進み、計画は順調に進んでいる。
But Arthur's face is fatigued, nothing like someone sharing good news.
君の最初の質問だが、心配するな。今日はただ食事をしていただけだ。彼は過去のことばかり話し、当時の写真や動画を見せ、私があまり覚えてないことまで。
Arthur's breathing starts to speed up all of a sudden, but he quickly returns to normal.
すまない。今日はここまでにしよう。このまま話していたら夜が明けそうだ。ここは冷えるから君は先に戻っていなさい。
What about you?
私はもう少しここにいる。少し食べ過ぎてしまってな。
Artem, are you really okay? Subconsciously, you feel nervous, touching his cheek and forehead in panic. Did Alice White make you drink? Did you drink too much? You don't look so good. Are you feeling unwell? Artem looks down, resting his forehead on your shoulder.
もちろん飲んでなどいない。今日は君と約束をしていたから早く帰ることばかりを考えていた。だが彼の話がやたらと長くて、酒も飲まずタバコも吸わず、私は昔と変わらずいい子のままだとさ。確かに私はあの頃から変わってはいなかった。だが
As he recounts, the true emotions that lie behind the kiss during the day come to light. This display of weakness exclusive between lovers makes you feel bolder, and you want to find out more from him. Artem, when you say since then, do you mean the time you had just become a graduate attorney? Artem seemingly wants to nod but finds it hard to do so because he's so close to you.
私も君と捜査に加わってからずっと聞きたいことがあったんだが、君の目には私はどのように映っているんだ？私の過去は何でできていると思う？
Probably all kinds of honors and awards. and interviews and whatnot?
なるほど。だがそれだけではない。栄誉も称賛もいずれは消えてしまうものだ。本当の意味で影響を与え、今でも忘れられない出来事になっているのは、かなり無茶苦茶なとあるハプニングだった。
Chaotic? It seems to be something you never could have imagined. For that reason, you listen carefully to Artem's words lest you miss anything. Artem's question has brought up the past, allowing those still images to flow again.
初級弁護士試験に合格した後、私は一日でも早く一人で裁判を担当できるよう、九条先生の下で収集できないかと頼み込んだんだが、当時先生は海外に滞在していてな。彼の推薦により、私は刑事事件を専門にしているステラ市の法律事務所に勤めることになったんだ。そして、修習生として事務所で働いていた私は、指導担当弁護士と一緒にとある依頼を受けた。だがその頃、被告である依頼人は世間からかなり叩かれていて、その影響が私たち担当弁護士にも及んでしまい、最終的にマスコミは私たちを狂人として描き、利益のためならクズをも弁護するなど散々なことを言われてしまったんだ。私の指導担当弁護士はもともと体が弱く、そのことも相まってストレスを抱え込むようになり、やがて
Artem's tone is still calm, but an uneasiness builds up in your heart. Could it be?
ああ、彼は私に資料を渡してくれと頼んだ後、急にその場で倒れてしまったんだ。普通なら裁判が延期される事態だが、当時はすでにそれ以上延期ができない状況でな。
With his description, the images in your mind becomes clearer and clearer. You can see the chaos in the courtroom as a young attorney froze, shoved aside by the rushing medical staff. He was still holding on to the files he didn't manage to deliver, which might have been stained with vomit. The voices around him grew louder and louder as legal personnel huddled around, arguing about something.
救急車に乗せられていく先生に付き添うか、孤立無縁となった依頼人を助けるか。私という未熟な弁護士に強いられた選択は、何とも酷なものだった。だが、
What happened in the end?
ああ、私は結局、先生の代わりに弁護を続けることを選んだ。
But weren't you only an intern? You shouldn't be allowed to speak.
その通りだ。実際に私がそう申し出た途端、相手側の検察官は机を叩き、黙れと声を荒げていた。もしそれ以上口を開けば、法廷から追い出すだけじゃなく、放送会からも追放してやるとな。だが不思議なことに、その時の私は自分のことなど一切考えず、ただ、私がこの場で口を閉ざしていたら、一体誰が声を上げるのかと、それだけを考えていたんだ。一度法廷に立った以上、たとえどんな対価を支払おうとも、我々は最後までやり通さないといけないんだ。
The man in your imagination felt like a lion cub that had walked into a den of ferocious predators. In just a few short seconds, he seemed to have gone through a fierce battle inside his head, and one could still see traces of it in his childlike face. In the end, courage and responsibility triumphed over everything else, leading him down a path he couldn't have imagined. Then, what happened?
勝った。
Artem's answer is so simple that you are barely able to react. With those two words sufficient to summarize the situation, you can't help but frown at Artem's calm description.
裁判官たちが話し合った結果、私が初級弁護士の資格を持っていたことで、特別に発言を許可してくれたんだ。 裁判はその後もしばらく続いていたが、私は無事証拠のほころびを見つけ、依頼人の無実を証明することに成功した。閉廷した後、マスコミたちは裁判所を囲み、ぜひ私と白浜さんを取材したいと詰め寄ってきた。
Interview with both of you?
ああ。その当時、私の発言を許可してくれたのが、まさに彼なんだ。加えて、彼はマスコミの対応に慣れていなかった私をかばってくれてな。彼があの時言ったことは、今でもよく覚えている。
左京君の弁護について？そうですね。彼が妥協せず全力で戦う姿勢からは、放送人としての矜持を強く感じましたね。一時の利益のために己の信念を曲げてしまう人間が少なくありませんが、放送人は決してそのようなことはしない。彼が今のような姿勢で励み続け、初心を忘れずにいれば、いずれ前人未到の高みに到達するでしょう。
それはマスコミに向けた対応だとは思うが、おそらく私への励ましも含まれていたのだろう。それらの言葉は私の中に残り、これまでの期間、私の仕事に対する信念の一つであり続けたんだ。だが、残念なことに、その言葉を送ってくれた人は今、保身のため、私に違法なことを指示し、あまつさえ、よくやったと褒める始末。
Suddenly, his phone rings, interrupting his story.
もしもし。ええ、彼女もいます。
Artem lowers his phone and puts it on speaker.
左京、夜分遅くすまない。
Captain Morgan, what's going on?
例の件だが、こちらの捜査に大きな進展があったから、その報告だ。今後の方針も含め、一度直接会って話がしたい。都合のいい日を教えてくれ。
You and Artem exchange a look and confirm the meeting with Darius. Alleyway. Early in the morning, you turn hastily into an alley, predictably checking your phone to make sure you're going the right way. Artem should have come with you to meet Darius, but before leaving, he received a call from Ellie's wife. After notifying the police, you and Artem changed the plan. Artem's residence.
いいか、岩崎さんが指示した通りの道順で向かうんだ。万が一尾行に気づいたときは、焦らず私に連絡するように。
Artem stands in front of you and pulls down the cap on your head.
よし。これならすぐに君だと認識されることはないだろう。
The rendezvous point with Captain Morgan is just beyond this alley. I am early, maybe I'll just head over. Thoughts races through your mind when you suddenly hear footsteps approaching from afar. The next moment, someone yanks you and slams you into a nearby crate.
もう来てしまったんですか?
Your eyes focus and you realize it's the police officer posing as the reporter. He looks nervous, with beads of sweat on his forehead. I'm worried that something may happen on the way here, so...
そうですか。でも今は戻ってください。地下鉄の駅まで送ります。さあ、こっちへ。
Head back?
そうです。岩崎さんがここへ来る途中、何者かに尾行されてしまったようで、二手に分かれて行動してたんです。我々を追っている相手はかなりしつこく、弁護士さんに連絡している余裕もなか。
Before he can finish explaining himself, a strange sound explodes in your ears. Several cans fly toward your feet and you look up to see someone approaching.
誰がしつこいって？
走って。
The policeman pulls you up quickly but freezes in place. Several more figures appear at the entrance at the alley, and you hear footsteps behind you.
おっと、俺としたことが自己紹介がまだだったな。俺のことはタツさんと呼んでくれ。一応この業界では親分で通ってる。よろしくな。そんで本題に入らせてもらうが、実は記者が一人ここらに逃げ込んだって話を小耳に挟んでな。
The remark is followed up with laughter. Every movement of you and the policeman seems to be part of their shows. Out of fear and self-defense, you and the policeman inch back to the corner. The policeman grits his teeth and turns his head slightly towards you.
3つ数えたら走ってください。あなただけでも。
おいおい野郎ども、聞こえたか。こいつ仲間を逃がして一人で俺たちとやる気らしいぞ。
Dago spits on the floor and kicks the wall next to you. But it seems he wasn't done as he kicks the wall a couple more times. With his movement, the people surrounding the two of you close in.
刑事ドラマでもやってるつもりか。まったくどんだけ考えが甘いんだか。
There is nowhere to run. You are vastly outnumbered. It will be difficult to escape with only the policeman. Someone who has a conflict of interest with the reporter and would do anything to find him. It has to be Alice White. You take a few deep breaths and speak to Dago. Your client asks you to look for a person. I doubt he would want you guys to make a scene. I know what he wants. It's not like I don't want to give it to him. He gets what he wants, you guys get the money, and we live here without a scratch. Why not make it a triple win situation?
交渉のつもりか。
The policeman in plain clothes nods. Dago stares at you for a long while, then turns to shout.
おめえら、こいつらをしっかりと見張ってろ。
He steps aside and takes out his phone to call someone. It's hard to make out the conversation from Dago's red saloon. The call doesn't last long, soon he ends the call and walks towards you. Hotel suite. Dago and his men take the two of you into a nearby hotel. After a few words with the front desk, they push you and the policeman into a family suite and someone will come to negotiate. He fills a dirty porcelain cup with water and put it on the table. Someone is coming here soon? You come up with a few possibilities, but your mind is soon occupied by terrible images, preventing you from analyzing the situation. If Alice White shows up in person, I should...
はい、今開けます。
The person who appears behind the door is... You and Artem sit across from each other, separated by a low table. He hasn't spoken since he entered the room, but he maintains a particular expression. It is a look of all-consuming indifference, an aura of icy coldness like an indestructible shell. Calm down, Artem is on our side. You try to speak calmly to Artem in order to finish this fake negotiation and leave as soon as possible. Our request is quite simple. Next, you present the proposal from your client. You will hand over the documents that Alice White wants, stop the investigation, and never speak about it again in exchange for personal safety. Since it's all improvised, I hope there are no loopholes.
今述べたものは全てこちらにあります。
You watch the policeman opens up his backpack and retrieve a stack of papers from a hidden compartment. Artem casually flips through the documents, then laughs.
まさか、こんなゴミで私が満足すると思っているのか？
But these are all the documents we have.
偽物だ。
You wince when he throws the documents back in your face. With the documents scattering everywhere, you can even catch a whiff of his scent.
私も舐められたもんだな。このような小細工など、とうに見飽きている。
I didn't lie to you. The reporter and I met today to exchange information.
共有？なるほど。どうやらこちらの状況をよく調べているようだ。つまり、私のことを調べ上げていたからこそ、あえてそれを用意したと。
You stare at Artem with composure. He squints and set aside the dirty porcelain cup.
何？時間ならたっぷりある。ゆっくりと話してもらおうか。あなたが調べた私という人間のことを。
Huh? The only explanation for Artem's behavior, he's stalling for time and waiting for police reinforcements. But choosing this topic just to buy time is strange. Artem asked a similar question on the terrace before. He seems to care a lot about this. You can see odd emotions fluctuating in his deep eyes. I have to continue with his topic if I want to keep the conversation going. You take a deep breath and choose your words carefully. Since you brought it up, there's no reason for me to keep it a secret. First of all, I didn't look into you. I'm guessing you're careful enough not to let anyone take advantage of you. Secondly, even if you don't believe me, I still have to say it. Some of these documents contain the real investigation materials and are the original copies.
一部？つまりそれ以外は。
It's as you say, they are meant to confuse people. His face remains expressionless. You are not sure what he thinks. He's thinking, so you can only wait.
本物を渡せ。
What?
皆の前で本物を手に取り、私に差し出せと言っている。少しでも妙な動きをしたら、分かっているな。
In an instant, all eyes seem to be focused on you. As you start picking out the documents, you notice the policeman beside you moving slightly. Is Artem trying to distract the gangster to give the policeman an opportunity? But why do I have to go over to him? While thinking, you slowly pick out some documents. Under Artem's cold gaze, you stand up and walk around the tea table toward him.
これで全部か？
Yes. Artem looks at the documents just when you're thinking he's reaching to grab them. He suddenly grabs you by the wrist instead. Before you can react, you feel a strong force pulling you down, making you lose your balance as you fall onto the couch. An unusual noise comes from behind you. You want to turn back, but Artem keeps your head tightly secure in his arms, covering even your ears. Dago seems to be shouting, followed by the sound of the door being kicked open. Artem hugs you tighter with every strange sound. It isn't until the noises die down that he finally lets go of you. Hotel suite. A dozen minutes later, Artem's jacket is on you as you see Captain Morgan and other police officers standing beside the couch with Dago in handcuffs. Artem briefly explains the situation to Captain Morgan and begins to check on you.
怪我はしていないようだな。よかった。手も温かい。
Artem, rather than saying my hands are warm, you gently pull your hands from his palm and put them on the back of Artem's cold hands. It's your hands that are cold, right? You're shaking. You were actually more nervous than I was, weren't you? Like a soldier who hasn't noticed he was shot, Artem looks down at himself. The outer shell that he has built up to fold the gangsters crumbles and cracks in a place you can't see.
これは緊張というより、ただ気づいてしまっただけだ。あのような場に身を置けば、私でもたやすく違う人物になれるのだと。
Artem, we all know that was just an act. You don't need to overthink it. But your words seem to be backfire, and he looks up at you with a bizarre expression.
考えないわけがないだろう。私が君に対してあんなひどい言葉を使い、ひどい態度をとってしまうなんて。
He seems to be caught in some sort of obsession, repeating the question he had asked you a few times by now.
教えてくれ。私は一体、君の目にはどう映っているんだ。私は、救いようがないほどに堕落してしまったのだろうか。だからあの時も、君の顔色は悪かったのか。
There's no doubt he is wavering, much like a drowning person, subconsciously reaching out for a lifeline.
頼む。君の意見を、どう思っているのかを教えてくれ。
You shake your head before he makes any more assumptions. I had a sour expression because I was worried that I might be doing something wrong. There was no way out unless I offered to negotiate. Sooner or later, Alice White would find out something strong, and then you can't help but pinch Artem's shirt. Not only will you be suspected, but you might be in even more danger than you already are.
君は変わらないな。
With the tension pushed to the extreme, Artem barely managed a sad smile.
自分も散々な目に遭ってきたというのに、何よりもまず私の心配をする。だが、それに関しては大丈夫だ。ついさっき、岩崎さんとも話してきたが、彼らは間もなく犯人逮捕に取り掛かり、捜査もじきに終わりを迎えるそうだ。
Artem continues to talk about the investigation to reassure you. But there's no way for you to relax. The question that he asks you is playing on repeat in your mind. Does Artem want to hear what I really think about him? Contrary to expectations, Alice White escaped from Sally's overnight after he lost contact with Drago rather than taking action against Artem. The police were prepared for this and were able to apprehend him before he flew abroad. The investigation is over at this point, but neither you or Artem can get a moment of peace. Artem's residence. After Alice White was arrested, the police held off on disclosing details of the case, so the media quickly tracked down people close to Alice White. Artem was no exception. After a few days of being cornered downstairs at the law firm, he applied to work from home. I put the information here. Did you need anything else? Artem, the folder of information. You raise your voice, but Artem still doesn't answer. Ever since the case hit the news, you often find him with his mind wandering. You've been distracted lately. What are you looking at this time? You move around to Artem's desk and look in the direction of his gaze.
何を？
There is a small picture frame on Artem's desk. The back of the frame is so plain that you never paid any attention to it. In the picture, Artem looks proud with his chest up in front of the camera. Artem, how old were you then? Kindergarten?
そうだと思うが、正直この日のことはあまり覚えていないんだ。母が言うには、これは幼稚園の参観日のもので、あの人が教室に入るなり、私はあるものを見せようとしていたらしい。
Artem brushes his hand against the picture.
私の胸元にあるバッジが何なのか、君もよく知っているだろう。
At a closer look, you open your mouth wide in surprise. You got a Stylish Justice badge as a child? The badge is obviously handmade by some rookie, but you can still make it out. It's probably based on the badge awarded by the Stylish government to outstanding attorneys.
あの頃、私はまだそのバッジの意味をよく知らなかったんだが、あれを父の書斎で見かけたとき、どんなおもちゃよりも魅力的に見えてな。多分、幼稚園の先生から材料をもらって自分で作ったんだろう。ただ、こうして見るとやはり少し形がいびつだな。
Not at all. I think it's lovely.
覚えてるか？私の帰りが遅く、君が屋上まで探しに来たあの時のことを。ちょうどあの頃、私はよくこの写真を眺めていて、あの夜もそうだった。しかし君が来た途端、私はなぜかとっさにそれを隠してしまったんだ。今にして思えば、もっと早くに見せておくべきだったな。
You feel like you've seen the small badge in the photo somewhere. Artem, if I recall correctly, you have an actual medal, right? Without confirming or denying, Artem walks over to the bookshelf and opens one of the drawers. He comes back with a small box in his hand.
これのことか。
He places the box in your hand and opens it with a click. A medal coveted by attorneys everywhere lies quietly in the black velvet.
この間話した刑事訴訟の件で勝訴した後、弁護士協会がこれを私に授けたんだ。しかし皮肉なものだな。バッジは変わらずここにあるというのに、きっかけをくれたあの人は変わってしまった。私の受賞を祝い、一緒に初心を忘れずにいようと言ってくれた人が。利益に惑わされ、本来守らねばならない道徳を手放した。
But whatever they became, it doesn't really matter to us, does it? We've never changed.
あのような変化を目の当たりにして、一切気にしないで居続けるのはさすがに難しいな。君も気づいただろう。彼らを逮捕するためとはいえ、私は明確に彼らの仲間となっていた。善から悪に変わる瞬間を身をもって体験してしまったんだ。あの状態はまるで空が一気に暗転してしまったような、何もかもが混沌に包まれてしまったような、そんな感覚だった。
Artem, is this the reason you've been uneasy? Artem speaks vaguely, but you understand where his pain is coming from. With his extremely high sense of morality, the mere act of playing the villain was enough to make him suffer and fall into endless solitude. Artem seems to want to ask you something, but he shakes his head and looks down at his watch.
続きはまた今度にしよう。そろそろ出かけないと。
Something urgent?
ああ、岩崎さんが白浜さんの自宅を捜査した際、私たちが書いた偽の退職届を見つけたそうだ。今からそれを受け取りに行く。夕食は私が帰った後でもいいか？それとも一度自分の家に。
I'll wait for you to come back. You shout back at Artem before he can finish. As if trying to convince Artem and psych yourself up, you can't help but repeat yourself. I'll wait for you to come back because I want to talk to you. Roof garden. As night falls, you are sitting by the pool, dipping your legs in the muted blue water while holding your slightly warm phone. The light from the LCD screen pales in comparison to the distant flashing lights of traffic. You swipe the screen, repeatedly closing and opening the chat with Artem until a new message pops up in front of you. On my way home. You stare at the words on the screen and let out a small sigh. I wanted to comfort him so much that I told him I wanted to talk. I don't know if I can explain myself clearly. You have the impression that whenever you and Artem talk about change, he always compares the present to the past. But thinking about his account of the past, you feel something isn't quite right.
裁判官たちが話し合った結果、私が初級弁護士の資格を持っていたことで、特別に発言を許可してくれたんだ。裁判はその後もしばらく続いていたが、私は無事証拠のほころびを見つけ、依頼人の無実を証明することに成功した。閉廷した後、マスコミたちは裁判所を囲み、ぜひ私と白浜さんを取材したいと詰め寄ってきた。
Is this really the end of it? If only I could see everything that Artem had been through. But how could I? I can't travel back in time. You can't help but laugh, dismissing your imagination. Just then, you feel your phone vibrate and you answer the call. Hello, Artem?
もしもし、弁護士さんですか？突然ですみませんが、今お電話よろしいでしょうか？
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was someone else. What's up?
大したようではないのですが、白浜さんの事件が終わって資料を整理していたところ、左京先生に関するちょっとした意外な収穫がありまして。
Something related to Artem?
あ、大丈夫ですよ。先生が犯罪行為に加担していたとかではありませんので、ご安心ください。私が見つけたのは先生の昔の写真と動画です。弁護士さんならきっと興味があると思ったので連絡させていただきました。それとこのことは岩崎さんにも伝えているので、そちらもご安心ください。
A few minutes later, you receive a video file. What is this? You tap the screen a few times with your finger, waiting for it to download.
ですから、お教えできることは何もありません。取材もお断りします。
You hear Artem's voice, thinking he was home. You almost drop your phone in a panic. You listen intently to the voice coming from the video. It has a useful quality and doesn't quite sound like the Artem you know. The camera wobbles, barely managing to capture Artem's face. What you had imagined countless times but thought impossible has unexpectedly materialized at this moment. The younger Artem, who had just become an attorney, is looking at you right now. Interview? Could this be? Suddenly, you hear the sound of camera shutters in the video, confirming your suspicions. Except it looked more like a siege than an interview. Another indication of the chaotic scene is evidenced by the shaking camera trying to capture Artem's blurred face. Alice White isn't there. It was just Artem who was bombarded with unreasonable questions.
左京さん、あなたが勝訴したというのは事実でしょうか？
事実です。すみませんが、もう通してください。
もう一つお願いします。今回の裁判で左京さんが一躍有名になったとのコメントがありますが、それに関してはどうお考えですか？
No way. It was the opposite of what Artem told you. Speechless, you stare at the screen. The reporter was relentless, moving closer to Artem despite him pushing away the voice recorder multiple times.
一躍有名？今まで散々中傷された上に勝訴して途端あれこれと詮索される。これがあなた方の思う一躍有名ですか？
Artem's anger was about to burst. The reporter obviously knew, but he simply ignored it to get the interview.
左京さんが注目を集めすぎたことで、指導担当弁護士である彼の立場を奪ってしまったとも言われていますが、それについてはどうお考えですか？確か指導担当弁護士の方は出廷の直前で倒れてしまったんですよね。それから。
Artem. He stares at the camera with an intense gaze. That makes it even clearer to you that you're in a different time and space than he was. You open your mouth to say something, but nothing you say can stop the reporter. Even if you reach out your hand now, you can only press the pause button. You can't help him escape from the chaos.
左京君、どうしてここに？
A much younger judge finally appeared. He seemed to be talking to the reporters about Artem, but you are in no mood to listen. Whatever words of encouragement he had once spoken now fall on deaf ears. In the end, an endless noise, people came and left, leaving Artem in the vast wilderness.
そこにいるのか？何を？
This time, your phone falls to the floor. You look back to see Artem holding the glass door open. He is holding the resignation letters he just retrieved from the police station while staring at the flashing screen on the ground.
どうしてその映像を持っているんだ？
The video pauses, then starts playing from the beginning again. Artem seems to integrate you with his tune as he picks up your phone to turn off the video. He is able to maintain his usual expression despite hearing those words again. Then he sits down next to you.
意外だったか？過去の私は君が思っているほど順風満帆ではなく、それどころかそうそう合わないようなアクシデントにまでああして見舞われることがあったんだ。その動画を見て君はどう思った？
The contents of the video, Artem's performance during the investigation, and the question he just asked. Your mind is overwhelmed with a myriad of things you feel to utter a single word. But Artem seems to have anticipated your silence and answers for you.
想定外のことが次々と起こり、君は今とても混乱している。違うか？混乱に混沌。最近の私も似たような状態だった。私のそれまでの人生において、あの動画のようなことはほとんどなかったんだ。 だからそんなことは自分とは関係のないことだと心のどこかでそう思っていた。でも
Artem let out a deep sigh, saw the expression flashing across his face.
九条先生が失踪してからはたくさんのことが起きすぎて全てが変わってしまったような気分だった。今までたくさんの依頼人に会ってきて人が心変わりしやすい生き物だということは理解できていた。だが時折、特に白浜さんの件に関わってからはその変化が怖くなってしまったんだ。私がこんなことを言うのはおかしなことで私らしくないとは思っているがどうしても考えてしまうんだ。
Why? Without thinking, you speak up, anticipating the question Artem is about to ask. Could it be that everyone changes somewhat? Those so-called things that never change are just ideal concepts. Artem's eyes suddenly widen, and you know you guessed correctly.
それで君は反論するのか？世の中の物事がいかに変化しようと変わらないものはある。確かにそれも事実なのだろう。ただ
He pauses for a moment before continuing, seemingly determined.
私のそばにいる人までいつまでも変わらずにいてくれるという保証はあるのか？
You mean?
先ほど書類を受け取りに行った時岩崎さんに何を言われたと思う？逮捕された後白浜さんは罪を認めるどころかわけのわからないことを話し続けていたそうだ。よく知らない他人からしたらそれらはただの出まかせにしか聞こえないだろうが私にはなんとなくわかるんだ。
What did he say?
彼は
Artem repeats the very things that cause him to question himself, yet his tone is soft and gentle, as if he wants to downplay their impact.
左京君、君は哀れだ。秩序を重んじ遥か昔から変わらぬ美徳を尊重してきたつもりだろうが君の人生は変化や混乱ひいては裏切りによって翻弄され続けるだろう。以前までの私ならそれらをたわごととして聞き流していただろう。だが今の私はどうしても不安になってしまうんだ。今回は白浜さんだった。では次は誰がとな。
His involvement in the investigation as a villain, experiencing disappointment and loss over and over again, has made him sensitive to the changes in himself and others. As for this moment, he is subconsciously seeking a promise from you, a guarantee. Even when the two of you put on masks and pretended to be someone else, you and Artem have never changed yourself. He just wants to hear this out of your lips. Artem, I want to reassure you, not by talking about so-called principle, but by saying, look, you're not the only person who has experienced this chaos. Would you like to hear the story from my perspective? In your eyes, what kind of person is Artem? What will happen in his future? You think that's the answer he's been searching for in this chaotic world? Roof garden. Under the misty night sky, you lean toward Artem. Your legs, which have been submerged in the pool, move closer to him, bringing a gentle warmth. I want to tell you a story about a young attorney. From the start, he received more praise than his peers could have imagined. However, that came with its fair share of responsibility. After experiencing many things, he came to realize that the world is much more chaotic and filled with uncertainty than he thought. He couldn't help but wonder if he couldn't stand alone against the outside world.
そうか。私はもうとっくに君に見透かされていたのか。君もそう考えているのなら。
Yeah, there's a good chance we can't stop those changes from happening. Artem nods in agreement at how frank you are. But is that necessarily a bad thing? Even small animals will huddle together to keep warm in terrible weather. The chaos and uncertainty you're talking about can bring people closer together. Artem, nobody in this investigation, including me, has changed. Everyone is standing by your side, preparing for the storm that may come.
だが、君も言っていただろう。変化はいずれ訪れると。私が何より心配しているのは。
I know. Even if you encounter the worst things that can happen one after another. But this time, you're not the same person at the courthouse, facing everything on your own. Because you have me. This isn't a guarantee to Artem. It's what you wanted to get off your chest after seeing him in the past. If you were there, you would have wanted to protect him more than anyone. So don't make that face, okay? Don't make that face because you don't want him to look at you with the same troubled eyes. Do you remember, Artem, when we were at Alice White's home? I may have said a lot of lies, but there was one truth in all of that. Since I've decided to be with him, before you can finish, Artem continues.
この先どんなことがあろうと、私と共に向き合っていく。君が言ったことは全て覚えている。それに、私はその言葉で気づかされたんだ。これからの人生、この人がいなくては耐えられないだろうとな。君は私の夢そのものであり、具現化した弱点でもある。
Weakness?
前にも言っただろう。君と同じで、私もたくさんの嘘をついたが、中には本心もあった。
You suddenly remember what Artem said at the police station.
そして、私が思いついた自分の弱みというのが、君だったんだ。この先も、私と一緒にいるとなると。
Artem pauses for a moment, complicated emotions flowing through his eyes in a silent yet fierce symbiosis. What exactly did he see in you? Is it his past determined, undefeated self? Or is it your unfathomable future with him? Thousands of words repeat over and over, finally condense into a single sign, enveloping you within.
大変だぞ。心の準備はできてるか？私といればおそらく様々な変化を目の当たりにすることになる。
Even at this moment, he's still thinking about the dangers that might come. You can't help but smile, reaching out to take the stack of documents in Artem's hand. There are the fake documents that you wrote for the investigation. When it was over, Artem went to retrieve them from the police.
待て、何を？
He watches as you throw the two documents into the bowl, skimming the surface of the water like birds flying under the moon. The scattered papers float in the pool, and Artem stands up.
君はそこにいてくれ。私が拾ってくる。
He takes off his jacket, but suddenly stops red in the face.
どうせいいか。すぐに着替えるんだ。
After taking off his jacket and entering the water, the clothes in his body are soaked, revealing his skin underneath. Wading slowly through the water, he is just about to reach for the papers.
何を？
Pulled back by something, Artem is forced to turn around, with drops of water glistening on his body. You hold onto him, exerting more and more force until he stops in the water with you.
どうして君まで入ってきたんだ？
Your movements cause the light reflected off the water onto your clothes to sway violently. Artem scrambles to carry you to the side of the pool, but you grab hold of his shirt and pull him closer to you. Is this also beyond your expectations and full of uncertainty? The spectacle is pretty bizarre, but it makes you want to sink in. Your lover, unwilling to show any weakness to the outside world, has been stripped of his defenses by your actions. Perhaps Artem was right. There is a fatal satisfaction in witnessing others show their weakness. Alice White fell into this trap, and now you are probably no exception.
とりあえず話してくれ。
You shake your head, wanting the moment to last longer. All those feelings of compassion and control that rose up because of him are seemingly bottomless, floating quietly with the rippling water. Nope, Artem, can you answer my question first? As the minutes pass, you can feel Artem's breath speeding up. His confusion increases as a single drop of water slides on his neck, penetrating clearly into the back of his shirt button. Can you feel it? Under certain circumstances, the uncertainty isn't necessarily negative. It shrinks the distance between us and keeps us interested in each other's next move. Your heart is pounding intensely, and his must be too.
なら、君は私に何をしてほしいんだ？
I want to make a bet with you. Artem, what do you think our future holds? Is it, as you say, full of unpredictable dangers? Or is it like I say, that there is more hope than danger? Artem relaxes his tense body a little. It makes you nervous, unsure of how he would respond to you.
これから先、私たちは一体どうなるんだろうな。
Arthur must have heard the sound of police sirens from the neon lights of the city when he asked his question. No doubt, the world is bizarre and chaotic, but we still have to survive.
いつか終点にたどり着く前に、ひとまずこの夜をゆっくり過ごすとしよう。
Arthur's voice shrills off. Before he can fully turn towards you, you finally let go and follow him to the warm pool.
もしもし、私だ。少し困ったことがあって、君にも聞きたいんだが。リビングを片付け、整理していたら、ディスクが見つからなくてな。君がここに泊まっていた時、一緒に見た映画のだ。鑑賞後、棚に戻したと思ったが。あ、待て。思い出したぞ。ああ、すまない。置き場所が分かった。リビングにあるはずだ。君が帰った後も、私は何度かあの映画を見ていてな。あれを見てると、私たちが共に過ごしたあの夜が、蘇るような気がするんだ。君がまだこの部屋にいて、毛布にくるまり、私のそばで座っている。こんな妄想らしくないと思うか？うん、そうだな。一説によると、妄想は願いの投影だそうだ。君がいなくなって、本当は寂しいんだ。うん。今週末、また来ないか？ 前は慌ただしくて、ゆっくり過ごせなかっただろう。映画に、水泳、あるいは何もせずに、ただ屋上で風に当たる。変だな。隣に、君がいると思うと、何もせずとも楽しめる気がするよ。うん、もちろん。仕事が終わったら、一緒に帰ろう。
Sally's Justice Badge. The Sally's Justice Badge is an honorary award established by the Sally's Bar Association, which is specially awarded to outstanding attorneys who maintain judicial fairness and make outstanding contributions to the construction of the rule of law. It is usually awarded to attorneys with at least 10 years of practice, though there appears to be one exception to the list of winners so far.